Friday. We made it to 3 streams this week. It's so nice to see everybody. And we actually have some pretty good stories today. I think that obviously, Marvel's going to have, just talked about it the other day, Marvel's going to have a really good Comic-Con and D23 Expo. And, of course, that's when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out. But we have a little bit of stuff to talk about today, some little previews, and then also the Thursday night box office, which gives us a little bit of a preview for Movie Math on Sunday. But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you so much for that, for gifting a membership. Also, by the way, please note that there will be a BTT Inside Access, which is for members at that level, on Sunday night, this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are a member at that level, or if you care to upgrade to join in on that private Q&A, it lasts for about half an hour and also will remain up after the fact as well. And then, of course, on Sunday is Movie Math and then House of the Dragon. Thanks, Bubbles. Thank you, Paul. And then also, I just finished my Quiet Place review, which will go up as soon as the stream is over. All right, everybody, let's get started. That's right, hype indeed, Dancing Dog 60. Hype, hype, hype. All right, so story number 1. Daryl says, I've been watching your videos for years. Thank you, Daryl. That really means so much. Okay, so story, that's right, Mystic. I acted out that emoji exactly. Whoop, hype, hype, hype. All right. Story number 1. I was surprised as anyone this morning, to see a new Deadpool and Wolverine spot. A number of some people have been tweeting me and saying, is there going to be a new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer? And I was like, well, I haven't heard anything about it. But apparently there were some murmurs they were going to drop something, and they dropped something indeed. Why on earth they would drop a spot the morning after the presidential debate is beyond me. Also, this had leaked. Don't Google Deadpool and Wolverine Sabretooth unless you want to see how this fight ends. Hey, Griffin, thank you for gifting those memberships. Because I saw more than I wanted to when I was trying to get pictures for this video. I was like, why, internet? Why? And so be careful about that. All right, so anyway, I think that MR Negro, the presidential debate, actually, I didn't watch it because I knew it would be just horrific, and I was like, I don't need to see that. But I will tell you that I followed it on social media, and it was bad. And I think that the reason that it's a big thing this morning is that there's a lot of discussion as to whether or not Biden should bow out, as to whether or not he's doing the party any favors. And it's just so vital that, how this election turned out, that, everybody's talking about it this morning still. And it's just been dominating the social media conversation. I don't really know if this would have trended too much either way, even if it had not been, the morning after, probably one of the most important presidential debates in history. I think it goes Kennedy versus Nixon, which was the first televised presidential debate. That was so crucial because it really changed the game as to, what was important in a presidential debate. Then it would probably go maybe Lincoln and whoever he was running against. That's a very famous debate, obviously. But, this debate is really famous. Last night's debate, I just feel like it was one of the most, it really was a big moment in U.S. history. Because I think that it said so much about this country and where it is right now and the caliber of candidates. I mean, we've been having a hard time getting good candidates for quite some time. And it just all came to a head last night. You were like, it's so bad. This is the only people who wants to run? Oh, my God. And in some ways, it was what the American people had wrought, but hopefully it was a wake-up call as well. But, so many things are supposed to be a wake-up call and don't end up being a wake-up call. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, nobody wanted to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine this morning, especially because everybody kind of knew that Sabretooth was going to be back. I'll tell you right now, I feel it was the wrong Sabretooth. I feel like, with all due respect to, Taylor Mane from the first X-Men movies, he was a really lame Sabretooth. I mean, it's a multiverse, so Liev Schreiber could show up as well if they wanted him to. But I'm not, this is not the cameo I'm looking for. So I guess that's another reason I'm not so upset that it was spoiled. I do think they should hey, Edward, welcome to the chat. I'll ask, yeah, you guys like polls. Who's the better Sabretooth? Who's the better Fox Sabretooth? And it's actually spelled Sabretooth. So Tyler Mane, however you spell his name, or Liev Schreiber. I think I misspelled Schreiber. Both are great, and then we'll do both suck. All right. Anyone? I think I spelled Liev correct, but I might have messed up the IE on Schreiber. All right. So, yeah. Poke, you don't know who Sabretooth is? The movies have failed. He's one of Wolverine's main enemies. I've read some great Sabretooth comics back in the day. He and Mystique used to have a thing. That was a great comic. I remember that comic still. I was like, Sabretooth and Mystique hooking up? What kind of craziness is this? But yet they also make a great couple. Couple goals for villains. Although I'm really loving what they're doing with Mystique right now in Destiny in the comics. Didn't they just get married? All right, so anyway. Dancing Dog 60 says, last night will be forgotten by the 4th of July. I don't know. It was pretty bad. Okay, so I prefer Liev Schreiber. I think, Taylor Mane, you're like, I can't believe we dug this guy up. But I am a little bit, Platinum Diva agrees with me about them being a good couple. But anyway, I'm a little bit nervous that they keep showing all these clips from this wasteland of the TVA when stuff gets pruned. I don't want to spend the whole movie there. I mean, we've already seen a couple of sequences from Madripoor, at least one. So that's exciting, although I had that kind of ruined for me. So I'm a little bit frustrated. I just think they should stop showing anything. They already said this thing had more ticket sales than ever before. They don't need to show anything. I mean, I think it just made maybe I think the only thing this spot did was it reminded you of how lame parts of the Fox Marvel movies were. And you're like, yeah, I guess it is time to say goodbye to them. I also feel that the Wolverine and Deadpool jokes are starting to have a sameness about them. It was kind of cute when Deadpool was like, oh, we got to get you all ready for the fight. Get in there, and he took all the swords out of Deadpool, which were his own, by the way. But I was like, are all the jokes going to be like speaking of a couple, like Wolverine and Deadpool being like a couple kind of? And Deadpool being like, oh, now he's Wolverine's boyfriend, now he's Wolverine's mom. You're like, go out there, sweetie. Lick his thumb and get some smudge off of Hugh Jackman's face. And you're like, is this the whole movie? Again, I hope this isn't another multiverse of madness situation where we're having expectations that are too high. Where we're like, oh, it's going to be a great story and it's going to have really lots of interesting things going on there. And because, Ryan Reynolds kind of said, it's really just a cameo parade, with lots of jokes. And you're like, is it? I don't know. And I would hope that they had different types of jokes because so far, yeah, that's right, Elia. We're all still waiting for our Marvel No Way Home, X-Men No Way Home. And we haven't gotten it. I mean, technically, No Way Home is also from Marvel as well. But yeah, so let's see. I'm still excited about the movie. The movie business desperately needs it. But I'm just I just don't want to know anything else. And I think that, at the end of the day, No Way Home ended up having a great ad campaign and they did a really good job with it. I mean, look how well the movie did. So we'll see. Let me close the poll on this here. Ivan, do you really want them to tease Storm, though? I mean, wouldn't you rather just be surprised at this point? We're a month away. Let it just be Toby and Andrew, where people are like, are they in the movie? And then they were! And everyone got so excited. Let's see, who's the better Fox Sabretooth? 46% agree with me that it's Liev Schreiber. Almost 50%. That guy's not working. He could come over there and do it. 20% think they both suck, but 17% think they're both great. But only 15% of you are into Tyler Mane. Yeah, I'm I don't know. It's just such if it's gonna be Sabretooth and Toad. I mean, we know that a Lady Deathstrike is there, which is cool, and Zazel, right? Nightcrawler, well, not actually Nightcrawler's dad anymore. But you're like, wow, these are some real B or C level cameos, man. Like, they better have, like, the main. I don't want it ruined, but they better be there. I'm like, you know, James Marsden, Famke Janssen, Halle Berry, Rebecca Romaine, Patrick Stewart. They better be there. Oh, that's right. Pyro's there. You're like, Pyro, really? Oh, you know, unless that's a joke. That they only could get the B people. And you're like, dude. All right. All right, does anybody have any questions or comments about this story? MR Negro says, does Sabretooth have a good backstory? Kind of. You know, it's like he's not like the best character, but he's like pretty good. He's like a big deal for Wolverine. Leon says the movie is getting a little desperate. Yeah, although, did you see Denis Villeneuve's clapback on the popcorn bucket? I was like, pretty nice, Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve said that while Deadpool and Wolverine tried to top the Dune popcorn bucket in terms of creepiness, it was not possible. It's like class by itself. And you're like, yeah, I think that's true. Because the thing was, it wasn't intentional. It was a total accident. And everybody just was like, what have you done? And that's what made it so funny. Hi, Naruto. Like, you can't want it that badly. That was the magic of the Dune popcorn bucket, that they made a mistake. That poor marketing executive being like, but it's a sandworm. Let's see here. I would love Anna Paquin to be back as well. I agree. And to finally fly and to really be Rogue. She never got that opportunity. So sad. No, J.J. Gibbs, I don't want to see the X-Men in advance. You know when I want to see the X-Men if they're in the movie? When I'm sitting in the theater. Don't do it. Maybe they could show Ben Affleck if he's in it. Again, I don't know if he's in it. I'd like to go back to being surprised. Remember the days of when we were surprised in the movie theater? That was really nice. Daryl says what happens in the movie is everything we want it to be. Then it makes all the monies. Like, I know some of you said that Endgame, or like, take Infinity War. I know that some people said that Infinity War was spoiled for them, but I'll never forget being in the press screening and when people got dusted, you know, and people reacting. Like when that happened to Black Panther after he just had $1 billion movie, my audience was like, what did you just do? I mean, it was incredible. The whole audience was just standing there gasping after gasp after gasp. And you were like, oh my God, like they were dusting major characters. You're like, Spider-Man? Like, it was incredible. It was like one of the best movie-going experiences I've ever had. And I don't want to be sitting there being like, okay, where's the checklist? Oh, yep, that happened as everyone predicted. Yep, that too. I mean, that was incredible. I'm glad a lot of you were able to have the same experience. Nick says, I think they are promoting Deadpool and Wolverine perfectly. Nice small reveals. Yeah, I think the Sabretooth one is acceptable because it leaked with them filming. But I do not want to see anything that has not leaked be out there. So nice to hear your guys' stories about what happened when you were seeing that. Yeah, that's right. Same for Endgame. In fact, I felt bad because I took my parents to see Endgame, and because we couldn't get good tickets because it was so hard to get them, they didn't get to go to a screening where there was a big audience. We went to like this chain from Mexico, actually. I forget what it was called, but it went out of business during the pandemic. It was on the east side. It was really nice, Sinopolis or something. But everybody was too well behaved in that screening. I was like, you missed the reactions. My parents are big Tony Stark fans, so they were just like, is Tony Stark really dead? But I felt really bad. Oh, it is Sinopolis. It was a very nice theater while it was around, but it unfortunately went out of business during the pandemic. But I felt so bad. Like yeah, that's right, Snower. With the 5 year later thing, when I was at my press screening and saw Endgame, and 5 years later came up, everybody was like, what the? And we were press. It takes a lot. Like, they were not fans in my Endgame screening. You know, when I went to see Infinity War, that was in Times Square, full of fans. when I went to see Endgame, that was just press, and we were going nuts. Like when the hammer got, when Thor picked up, when Captain America picked up Mjolnir, and Thor was like, I knew it. It was just incredible. We were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I'm hoping to have that experience with Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought that like what happened with No Way Home was unfortunate. Tamed the 3 bears. If you haven't seen Endgame at this point, that's on you. Lord Baratheon says, Grace, do you hope anyone from the MCU makes a cameo? I'd love to see some TVA people. It would make me very happy if Owen Wilson and Loki were at the TVA. I mean, with all due respect to the new TVA that they've created here, I would like some recognition to the show that made the TVA famous. You did make me laugh to Tame to the 3 Bears. J.A., they recast Sabretooth for X-Men Origins Wolverine, which was an awful movie, by the way. Except Hugh Jackman streaked in it, which is all I remember from that film, and what they did to Deadpool. Everybody in my theater was like, is he running across the screen naked? And it was hilarious. But anyway, wait till you see House of the Dragon on Sunday. But anyway, he had a lot of lines in X-Men Origins Wolverine. So Tyler Mane is not an actor. He's not a professional actor, so that's why they had to recast. Sam Mocker says, I have to make a 4-hour plus journey to see the movie on opening day. I was already convinced before seeing all these spots to make such a big commitment, and I don't want to see any more. I would agree, Sam. I think we're pretty much all in. I'm not telling you what's going on House of the Dragon. Just be prepared. I would say, I was pretty shocked. That's all I'll say. I'm not even sure if maybe they crossed the line. We'll see. We'll see how everybody reacts on Sunday night. Okay. Mandito says X-Men Origins Wolverine was a great movie compared to Madam Web. Well, that's not fair. All right. I think we can go on to the next story. Okay. That's funny, little baby pizzas, and also sounds very cozy. Okay. Let's right, Haunted Autumn. Let's boop it out of here before I get myself in trouble. All right. Boop. Okay, so Empire Magazine on the 4th of July, because it's a British magazine, and so they release stuff on the 4th of July. Although I think I'm going to have to work the morning of the 4th of July to break down the boys' episode. I just don't think I'm going to be able to enjoy myself if I don't do it. So getting up early on the 4th of July and editing the boys. Why are they dropping it on the 4th? And that's also a really saucy episode. The boys coming up on Thursday. I was like, whoa, this is some kinky stuff, man, even for the boys. All right, so Agatha, so there'll be more information apparently, I guess. And they have this picture that came out of Agatha and her coven. Ooh, yay. Okay, well, kind of yay. I know that everybody's like, where's Billy? Where's Wiccan? Well, he's in this show. Hey, Adnan. But it's not his show. He's part of the show. I don't know why they're making this show, to be honest with you. Everybody wanted a Wanda show, and they're like, why are we making this show? And they're like, this is the one we're making. And you're like, okay. So anyway, this is basically these witches are all covenless. So they decide to make a new coven, basically themselves. Aubrey Plaza also is in the show, obviously, but she's not in this picture. So I am worried, like some of you, I'm like, I don't need Acolyte level hate for this show, hopefully. I'm nervous about it. I thought people way overreacted to the witches on the Acolyte, who I thought were very interesting. They act, everyone made fun of the chanting, but that's what witches do. Okay. So, I would agree with Dana O'Leary. Please get Billy right. Look, here's the thing. I'm sure these characters are all lovely, but the show will live or die based on the portrayal of Wiccan. He's the whole reason for the show. So I hope that Marvel understands that. Okay. So here they are. Let's talk about them. Hold on. And there's one in particular I want to talk about, which is why we're going over this. Alrighty. So there's Agatha I like her outfit, I must admit. So there's Agatha. All right, now there's Patti LuPone, who we all knew was in the show. She's playing Lilia, apparently. All right. This is Shashir Samata from SNL, actually, who's playing Jennifer. This is Deborah Jo Rupp as Sharon. I'm like, who the heck are all these witches, man? And then here's this other one. This character is played by Ali On, and she's playing a character called Alice. And based on her getup, I was like, she looks a lot like Black Alice, although Black Alice is a DC character. So she can't be that character. But then I was like, how is she not Nico? How is she not Nico Minoru? From Runaways. I mean, how do you have this show and not have Nico on it? I mean, that just seems like a crazy missed opportunity to me. Everybody absolutely adores Nico. She's a very interesting character. I know that they had a Runaways television show that, nobody really watched. I know some of you watched it and enjoyed it, but it wasn't a big thing. But Nico Minoru was teased. Her mother was teased in the first Doctor Strange movie. Hey, Wanda's attorney. Thanks for upgrading. But Nico Minoru is such a cool character, and I, too, have really enjoyed her in the Runaways comic. I've read the Runaways comic all the way through the most recent run that Rainbow Rowell wrote, which was exceptional. That writer went on to do She-Hulk, and I don't think she has as good a grasp on She-Hulk. I stopped reading that, but very good comic. If you've never read Runaways and you're looking for a great comic, there you go. It's very good under Brian K. Vaughan. Then it kind of loses its way when it changes writers. But then when Rainbow Rowell started writing it again, so good. So good. So Nico Minoru is an LGBT character, wonderful character. She has the Staff of One, which is a very complex, cool tool. Not only can you only cast, you cast a spell by saying one word. And, sometimes it's interpreted in different ways, but the problem is, what makes it interesting is that you can only cast every spell just once. So even if she wants to do the same thing more than one time, she has to figure out a different way to do it. That's right, Dane. Dane said it as well. So, like, for instance, there she's saying snow globe, and you're like, oh, what's that going to do? And it's, like, very clever. So it's a very interesting idea. She has, I think it also comments a little bit on self-harm, that she can only get the Staff of One out by cutting herself because it's stored in her own body. Really interesting character. Really good character. And so I'm like, how is that not Nico Minoru? It's the synonym staff. That's a good way to call it, Elia. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel bad that that's not who the character is. I think that it would have done quite a bit to help the show. But that's not what they're doing. So we'll see who all these witches are. It's like every witch but Wanda, the one that you actually want to see. So I'm sure that we'll see a trailer for this at Comic-Con. It starts September 19th. Right? Like a week after Beetlejuice 2 comes out. And I think that's a little close for comfort. And I think Beetlejuice is very lucky that it's coming out first. So what do you guys think? Any questions or comments about this story before we get to the next one? That's right, Tenerife. Where's Madeline and Wongers? What I could talk about couple goals. I need them to come back. I love them so much. Wongers. Hey, Brandon. George says, so when will Wiccan be in this? Didn't they die in the show? I don't think, they're lost in time. Remember, there's something about their spirits and that they take over these other individuals. Billy and Wiccan. But then why weren't they just having them age up? If Wanda's going to show up on this show, and I don't know if she is, and again, I don't want to know, but if she does show up, I think it would be at the very end. But I mean, it's like all this dancing around Wanda's nuts. They're like, we have an Agatha and Wiccan show, and we have a Wonder Man show, and we have a Vision show, and everybody's just like, but just where's Wanda? That's who we want to see. Brandon, I think that the trailer for Agatha will be at Comic-Con. It might come earlier, but Comic-Con's very close at this point. I mean, and they need material to show at Comic-Con. Ah, thank you, Lawson. That's very generous of you. Michaela, that Vision show is apparently still alive. I mean, it's one of the greatest comics ever written by Tom King. And Vision is a pretty cool character. But I don't know if we're ready for that show. But again, everybody just wants Wanda. I think and they're taking so long. I mean, obviously, next up will be Children's Crusade, when Billy and Tommy go and look for their mother. But I mean, when the heck is that going to happen at this point? I mean, it's taking forever. It's taking so long. Dancing Dog 60 says, I'm looking forward to Agatha myself, and I love Han, as in Catherine Hahn. However, I'm bracing for the silly people online to not like it. I really just think, I don't understand, like, this show should just be able to exist in its own space. I hope it's popular, but I mean, like, that's the good thing, that it's building off of WandaVision, and so I really hope that Disney finds a way to combat this, because I think it's becoming toxic to being able to enjoy these shows. Although the last episode of The Acolyte was so good, had so much fire that, even the hate couldn't withstand it. Jacob says the Vision comic was so deliciously dark. Wasn't it, though? Oh, thanks, Matt Damon. I love it. Thank you very much. That's right, Mac. Even the haters had to like The Acolyte episode 5. It was good. Lord Baratheon says, I saw a rumor that Elizabeth Olsen is playing Virginia. Oh, she'll play the wife on Vision? But that defeats the whole point. But, that comic did have a lot of flashbacks of Vision to his own relationship with his history with Wanda. So you couldn't really do that story without Wanda flashbacks. So, but Elizabeth Olsen seems over it. So that's like a little bit, I'm nervous about some of her comments. Sean feels this looks very set-like. It does look a little Disney Channel, I will say. Little Wizards of Waverly Place. Ricardo says, I think that on paper it's a good show, but like someone already said, it missed its window. Yeah, I have a concern on that. Like they're just so slow getting this stuff going that I think people, by the time it comes out, people are just kind of like, I think people are ready for an Avengers 5, to be honest with you. I think people are also ready for like a new phase, like the new Avengers lineup and like just moving forward. And I think that they don't have to wrap everything up. You're like, it's okay. It's fine. We're good. Just keep going. All right. All right, let's go to the next story of the day, and then we'll do the Q&A. Story number 3. Boom, baby. All right, let me get the numbers here so I can tell you what they are. They're very strong. For the Thursday night box office for A Quiet Place, well, A Quiet Place is doing well. Poor Kevin Costner. He gambled on this. I hope Francis Ford Coppola has a happier ending to his story. Although, of course, we'll see how Horizon does on digital. I have to tell you, my parents were interested in seeing Horizon because I told them I thought the movie was pretty good. But in New York City, they're selling so few tickets for this movie that my parents are like, well, let's just watch it on digital because it's a big deal to go to see a 3-hour movie in the theater, and who wants to sit in there by themselves? They're like, so I think people who would have gone are maybe like, what a flopola. Well, I'll just wait. Because, it has to be on digital before August because that's when part 2 comes out. So, it's going to have a very short window, and it's already on extremely small screens. Like there's this theater I like to go in when I'm in New Jersey, and I often check New Jersey to see what middle America ticket sales are like. And they put it in the smallest theater in the New Jersey. I like to go to the Riverside Square Dine-In Theater, AMC Riverside Square. And they put it on the tiniest screen that they have there already. And you're just like, this movie was not released at a good time. But as some of you are already pointing out, A Quiet Place, day 1, opened with 6.8 million, very close to 7. That's bigger than the Thursday night box office for either of the first 2 films, and it's even more than Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes did on its Thursday night. Not by much, but it's still bigger. It was 6.6 for Planet of the Apes versus 6.8 for A Quiet Place. And Kingdom went on to do almost 60 million opening weekend. So it looks like Inside Out 2 might have gotten the summer movie theater juices flowing, and people are going out to see A Quiet Place. It is an extremely depressing and sad movie. I would recommend that you not see it in the evening. I think it's or an early evening show. You do not want that to be the last thing you do for the day. But I am very happy for Lupita Nyong'o. This is great for her. It's really exciting for her career. Finally. She has had an unfair situation and has not had the opportunities that an Oscar-winning actress should have. And so I'm very excited for her. And I think that, no matter what you might think of the movie, what it's going to do for her career is very exciting. Bad Boys 2, that's an interesting question, Dancing Dog 60. Bad Boys 4. Did Bad Boys 4 also contribute to this? I'm curious. I'll be interested. That's interesting. Let's see what the demographic breakdown is on this. The cat does not die. The cat's fine, everybody. You can see the movie. The cat's okay. All right. So, 6.8. So it looks like the movie could open between 50 and 60 million for the weekend. That's incredible. So that's fantastic. As for Horizon, news. It only did 800K on Thursday night. It couldn't even hit 1 million. Now, is Horizon a 3-hour movie? Is that really the kind of film that people are going to go see on Thursday night? That audience isn't going to rush out on Thursday night to go and see the film. They're not going to, that's going to do better with early showings and matinees. And it could do a lot of walk-up business. So we'll see. I think that, it's not over till it's over. And I think we'll have a better idea, like on Saturday, what the business looks like. Because I think most people are going to see Horizon if they see it in theaters on Saturday afternoon. We'll see. But right now, it's looking like, A Quiet Place looks like it's going to open at around 50 to 60. And then we'll see if Horizon hopefully can come in at around 10. And hopefully it can do double digits. That would be, anything lower would be very embarrassing for the film. And can either of them unseat Inside Out 2? Which, is coming off of 100 million, don't forget, from its second weekend. 155 to 100, it's having incredible staying power. So Inside Out 2 might still be number one. But this is very exciting. You know who this is the most exciting for? Lupita Nyong'o. It's also very nice for A Quiet Place, for sure, but it's exciting for Lupita Nyong'o. Finally. And good for her for not giving up. So on Movie Math, we'll talk about that for sure. So it's great for her. It's very great. She and Viola Davis have talked a lot about colorism and how they feel that it's held their careers back. So it's just very exciting. It would change a lot in the industry. It's just really nice. I'm such a big Lupita fan as well. I love Lupita and Viola Davis. I think they're both wonderful actresses. Very dynamic. Very different images, though. I really loved The Woman King. I still feel bad to this day that didn't do better. They made a very big mistake in some of the things that they did with the script, unfortunately. But that movie should not have been... a ton of movies have done that. Hey, Dan. Thanks for joining as a BTC Inside Access member. That's right, Ricardo. Viola Davis was wonderful in Hunger Games as well. She's a great villain. And she's a great Amanda Waller. I hope the Waller show gets made. It will be okay, says I was going to see it, but I hear it's more of the same and really sad. Yeah, you'll see my review. My review will go up as soon as we're done with the live stream, but I don't know if you need to see it in theaters. As a reviewer, I don't think you need to see it in theaters, but I love Lupita Nyong'o. So, I'm going to go see it again this weekend, actually. Because, I have some people who I know who want to go. So I'm going to go with some friends. We're going to see A Quiet Place, but we're going early because I told them it was very depressing. I was like, it's depressing. We're going to do something after. Rodney, my review for A Quiet Place will drop as soon as this live stream is done. Isaac, I don't think she's going to get Oscar nominated for this movie. It's just not that kind of film. She already has an Oscar. That's right, J.A. Good for Joseph Quinn. You'll see me talking about it in my review, but he looks a lot like Robert Downey Jr. Like, I didn't see it before, but when he cuts his hair, you're like, oh my God, he's Robert Downey Jr. So when he shows up in the Fantastic Four, you're going to be just like, why is Tony Stark here? Sabian, I am reviewing A Quiet Place, and my review will go up, as I just said, as soon as this live stream is done. I just saw it yesterday because I couldn't make I went to an event on Wednesday night, which was when the press screening was, very late. And so I couldn't make the press screening. Let's see. Yeah, the audience score is already pretty bad on Rotten Tomatoes. I'll tell you what it is right now. It was 69 when I did my review, and it's still at 69. That's pretty low for an audience score. I'm scared to see what the cinema score is going to be. We'll talk about it on Sunday. Poke, her Oscar is for, I believe, 12 Years a Slave. She was great in that movie. It was her first big role, actually. I think it's not very commercial, the film, and it's very sad. It was very sad. It's like ridiculously sad. She went to Yale School of Drama. She has an incredible resume, Lupita Nyong'o. Hey, Danny. All right, we're just spoiling a Quiet Place now. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this story? And then we'll go to the Q&A. David, my audience was also very quiet. Not very full, but I snuck some food into the movie theater. I snuck an iced tea into the movie theater. I put it in my bag. I had to walk very carefully, but I was like, I'm so sick of movie theater food, I can't take it anymore. Poke, I'm seeing Maxine on Monday, and my review will go up on Tuesday. I'm also going to do my top 10, and I have top worst lists this year. Those will go up next week. What did I sneak in? I snuck in don't tell anybody. I snuck in an iced tea, and then I also snuck in a really good soft chocolate chip cookie. Because I eat a lot of popcorn because I go to the movies all the time for work. So I was, and I wanted to have dinner afterwards because I was going to I watched The Bear. And so I wanted to have some very good, like, artsy food to go with The Bear. And I was like, I can't eat a bunch of popcorn and then have dinner. But then The Bear was awful. It was just a haze from last night. I wanted it to be good. The first 3 episodes, The Bear's on my worst list of shows for the year so far, actually. That's how much I ended up disliking it. I still have 3 episodes to go, though. You sneak in burgers to Guy Tai. Still, one of my favorite things was when I saw Godzilla, Godzilla X Kong, a guy had Subway. I've given up Subway because there's so much sugar in the bread that Ireland has disqualified it as bread. So I'm like, I can't eat Subway anymore. But I did make me hungry when I saw that guy with the Subway sandwich because I used to love Subway. Subway was one of my favorite cheats. Paul, you're making me want to cheat on Subway. I haven't cheated on going back to Subway, and I haven't gone back on soda. Paul says, with Horizon Part 1 not doing well, could they dump future installments on streaming instead of... Oh, well, Part 2 looks really good. He's already filming Part 3 as we speak. Let's see what happens. August could be better because, it's going to be slower. Dane, yeah, The Bear Season 3 is just like a giant montage. And at a certain point, I was like, is it really satisfying to go to these restaurants when they serve so little food? They're like, enjoy this one little piece of beef with this little flour on top of it. And you're like, dude, I'm hungry. It Will Be Okay says, how come depressing shows like House of the Dragon are okay, but sad movies suffer? Well, House of the Dragon has a lot of action. That's supposed to balance things out. Let's see here. Senior Lullaby. I have not heard of Kava. I will check it out. That's right, Degai Tai. They want you to pay all this money for no food. You're like, I went to dinner and I'm still hungry. Poke. I've had a little McDonald's, but I haven't had a lot. I'm trying not to eat too much fast food. I'm trying to stay away from plastics and chemicals. It's tough. A lot of stuff's in plastic. Mac, if you didn't like episode 1 of The Bear, you're not going to enjoy the rest of the season because it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that and a lot of screaming. And you're like, how are you guys still screaming at each other? Oh, yeah, let's go to the Q&A. Alexander Padilla says, Grace, with this season, the best being boring and mediocre, can Ayo Edebiri get core? Of course, Ayo Edebiri she's an Inside Out too. I love Ayo Edebiri. She's great. Don't worry about her. I mean, it does suck a little bit. It sucks for everybody that the season's not that good, but I think they shot, I hope 4, that's the problem. They shot 4 and 3 and 4 back to back. So I hope that they didn't make this mistake both times. To answer your question, Mika, I don't know if 4 is the same. That's right, Daft Tool. The first episode of The Bear season 1 is like no dialogue, and then the second episode is just like nonstop screaming. To the point where you're like, you guys got to stop screaming. They had some fun cameos, at least so far. I've watched through episode 7. I still have 3 more to go. They didn't shoot 4 yet, Michaela? I thought they shot them back to back, but maybe you're right. Rick says, as a chef, I feel your pain about the small portions. It borders on the ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, there was one, hey, Marky Mark, there was one dish which had some cool, like, green beans, like dissected green beans on it. I was like, that is very beautiful. But I was like, dude, 1 ravioli? They're like, here's your ravioli. It's 1 ravioli. And it's a big ravioli, but I'm like, 1 ravioli? Ricardo says, any new screenings that you're looking forward to? I'm excited to see Maxine. The trailer looks so good to me. I hope it's not another Civil War situation because it's also A24. I'm glad that they didn't get angry with me for that. Okay. Let's see here. Bear Like Fire. That's a great name. Says Subway got busted for using the same material in its bread that manufacturers use to make yoga breads. What's a yoga bread? Sounds bad since they got in trouble for it. Happy Pride, Dimitri! I was loving all the Pete Buttigieg love the other day. I love Pete Buttigieg. I feel bad that he got yoga mats. They make Subway bread like yoga mats? Oh my God. Oh, I can't go back. No, I used to love Subway. Now I feel bad that I ate it at all. Official Liam says, it's my birthday today, and I'm happy to spend some time with you and the BTT fam before heading out with friends for the evening. Happy birthday, Liam. I hope you have a great day. Oh, I didn't look at the time. It's 2:50. We'll go to like 2:56. Deguy Time, I tried to bake my own bread during the pandemic, and it was very difficult. I'm not baking my own bread. I'm not supposed to even eat that much bread, so I'm trying not to eat too much bread. Rodney Dollar says, hey, Grace, how do you feel knowing Lucy Liu has a film coming out the same day as Cameron Diaz? Are you talking about Red 1? She's in Red 1? Stardust says, what are your favorite Simon Pegg movies? I love me some Simon Pegg. He's so good in the episode of The Boys that came out this week. I don't like The Pub at the End of the World. It was pretty good. I like that. I had an interview with Simon Pegg, and I'll never forget it. He said, are you flirting with me? And I said, maybe. And it was fun. Shaun of the Dead, obviously. Dat Boy, I thought the Tom Hanks trailer was super depressing. I'm not watching that movie. I'm like, Robert Zemeckis, what happened to you? For those of you who don't know, Robert Zemeckis made a movie where Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, you see their whole life from where they meet as teenagers to them dying just in the living room of this one home. And I'm like, I don't want to watch that. Adam Sphere says, you mentioned before that some studios don't let you cover the trailers. Isn't that against fair use? It technically is against fair use, but, there's nothing you can do about it. They say no. I mean, what are you going to do, take him to court over it? It's not worth it. Starboy says, happy birthday. Oh, that's very nice of Starboy for you to use your member chat for the month to say happy birthday to Liam. Oh, and it's your birthday too! I like your picture, Starboy. I feel I can really see you there. Happy birthday to you as well. Now that I see it's your birthday too, I'm glad you used your member chat. Let's see here. That's right, Lisa. Simon Pegg is great in the Mission Impossible movies. He was a great addition to that team. Matt says, do you prefer dessert or appetizer? I do have a bit of a sweet tooth. That's why giving up sugar was very hard for me. And I'm trying to eat less of it, but it's hard to get back on the no sugar wagon. But although I do like a good calamari, but I prefer dessert. I should switch to appetizer because it's better for me. Vincent says, will Deadpool and Wolverine have connections to the Secret Wars film? Well, we already saw the comic in the trailer. I think it will. I think it would be a missed opportunity if it didn't. Let's see here. Cosmic says, I'm having a hard time believing that San Diego Comic-Con will only focus on films and D23 with shows. Do you believe those reports? It will be, I don't know if they'll do that. I mean, I would be fine if they did that. I think D23, although Daredevil and Agatha are such hot properties, they could do that. I haven't heard those reports, but I think that that would be fine. Just Blaze says, people are calling the Tom Hanks movie Carousel of Progress. No, because they don't die on Carousel of Progress. They live forever. You know, I don't, it's the dying part that I find really depressing. Michaela, I did not like Red One either. I have some friends of mine who are divided on this. Some of them agree with me that it's not Christmassy enough, but yet I have another friend who's enchanted with it. And I love me some Dwayne Johnson, and Chris Evans looks very funny in it. But I was like, that's not a Christmas movie. That's a Fast and Furious movie with the red and green. Ricardo, I will try and do some ranking videos when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out. But that's going to be a crazy weekend because I'll be covering Comic-Con and Deadpool and Wolverine. So I might be ranking X-Men films instead of MCU films. So we'll see. Brandon Travel says, you should do X-Men franchise rewatch every week for BTT. I don't know if I have the time for that, but I don't even know if I want to I mean, I know the movies very well because I loves the X-Men movies. I love seeing the Carousel of Progress love. That's an underrated Disney classic. That's right, Manny. Chris Evans made a lot of awful Apple TV movies. He really did. Oh, hey, Leo. That's very good that you skipped, because you're worried about Deadpool and Wolverine spoilers. Good for you for taking care of yourself. But I'm glad you popped in to say hi, and I liked your use of that emoji. That's adorable. Jacob, you missed it at the beginning of the stream, but I did not watch the debate last night. I knew it was going to be too much and horrific. Brandon says, your most anticipated movie of August. That's a good question. I am excited for Horizon Part 2 because it looks so good from the preview at the end of Horizon Part 1. But I'm kind of excited about Borderlands. I'm a big Cate Blanchett fan, and I love that she's the lead on that. So I'm pretty excited. Platinum Diva, I'm sorry to see that you lost some of your progress, but it's important. I'm glad that you're aware of it. I mean, I backtracked a little too. It's hard when you stop dieting, but you're still significantly down from where you were. So I think, and believe me, I know what you're going through. So just try and pump the brakes as best you can. And don't let it get you down. Damani Level says, it's my birthday. It's your birthday too! Birthday stream. I'm glad I was able to help you, Damani, and cheer you up. You guys, as I've always said, cheer me up a lot as well. Oh, Dan's hoping to go on Tiana's ride tomorrow. Oh, I hope the line's not too crazy. I hear it's a virtual queue. I saw some people tweeting this morning that they didn't get into the queue and they were upset about it. Oh, we seem to have moved on to the what are you doing? And let me do shout outs. All right, let me do some shout outs. I haven't been able to do shout outs lately. Let me do some quick shout outs. Where are you and what are you doing? Dancing Dog 60, that's very nice of you to be supportive of Platinum Diva. LP, as I said before, I thought the Nosferatu trailer looked wonderfully atmospheric, but a Christmas release is ridiculous. Bye, Elia. I didn't watch Tar because I didn't sound like my kind of movie, but I did see on Father's Day some people saying Lydia Tarr who apparently said she was someone's father, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Let's see here. Hey, Danny in Guatemala. Hey, Film Fanatic, have a great time at work. I'm glad you stopped by. Little Baby Pizza is making a mocha latte. Thank you, Slayer Chic. Yes, please do like the stream if you have a chance. Hit that subscribe button if you can. Blair Wraith is taking their lunch break while trucking in Indiana. I'm so glad. It's always nice to see you. Let's see here. Wanda's attorney is stealing company time while listening to the stream. I love it. You're a true anti-hero, Wanda's attorney. I love it. Dane says, finishing up some brochure designs in North Virginia, enjoying my favorite streamer. Ah. And Jacob says, just finished eating ravioli while watching your stream in Israel. Ah, stay safe, Jacob. Stay safe to everybody in that region. Let's see here. Carter James says, Grace, would you ever post on TikTok? Oh, I don't know. I was scared of the TikTok. I don't understand it. I have to understand something to be able to do it. And TikTok, it took me a little bit of time to understand trailer reactions and live streams. I had to figure it out. But I like, YouTube and Twitter are my spaces. Sean's birthday is tomorrow. Another birthday. Picnic got canceled because I got a bad, you got a tick bite, and the meds mean I can't stay outside. Well, Sean, I'm very sorry to hear that happen, but I'm glad you caught it and you're on the medication. I know the sooner the better with that. Stay out of the woods, Sean. Everybody, stay out of the woods. You guys know I don't like nature. Cover that stuff with concrete, man. Let's see here. Carrot says, hi, Grace. Love you in the BTT community so much. You mean so much to me. Just so thrilled to be able to join you all today. I'm so glad you could too, Carrot. That's very sweet of you. Lisa, look at Batman. I'm late. Lisa McDougall says, I'm doing an ethics and compliance training, but I have it on mute to watch the stream. You're a great person, Lisa. I'm sure you don't need any training on that. You're a really nice person. Elpidio says, better late than never. Just got off work, eating tacos and saying hello. You're making me hungry, you guys. Enter for None says, Grace, will you be at San Diego Comic-Con? I used to go to I'll tell you my famous story. I used to go to San Diego Comic-Con all the time, but I don't want to talk about it too much. I will just tell you the main reason I stopped going is, I am an independent person, so I must pay for my own travel expenses. So going to San Diego Comic-Con is very expensive because, I need to pay for airfare and the hotel room for quite a number of nights. And I had to pay for, a DP, a camera person. And the last time I went, the videos that performed the best were me sitting in my hotel room. So I was like, I don't need to be here. So it would be nice to be able to go and socialize, but I couldn't socialize anyway because I was in my room editing and filming all the time. Hey, Robert. So that didn't work anyway. So that's why I don't go. Lisa, everybody should go to Comic-Con at least once. It is a really incredible experience. So I think you should try it out. Oh, Rodney says, same reason for D23. Yeah, I actually have an advantage not being there. A lot of other people are on the floor and can't do reactions right away. And I'm like, I'm sitting right here, man. I'm ready to go. Oh, Manny, it's 3 p.m. You're right. Thank you, Manny. And Griffin says, watching a pool being built in my backyard and envisioning being by the pool with a glass of wine like my favorite housewives. Griffin, congratulations on your pool. And that's also very National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, you got to send me a picture of your pool when it's complete. That's awesome. Good for you. I'm sure you must feel really nice to unlock that accomplishment. That's so cool. One of the great things about being an adult is when you unlock accomplishments. It's like playing a video game and you feel like you've leveled up. You're like, oh, it was so hard, but I passed that level and now I'm on to the next one. And, it's really, really, I think you'll always remember that. And so I'm glad you're savoring it. That story really made me very happy. I'm very happy for you. You have a great weekend too, Classic Bunny Librarian. I always love your photo because I like bunnies. All right, you guys are fantastic. I love talking to you. Again, it makes me feel so nice that I can lift up some of your spirits, and I want you to know that you do the same for me. And that's one of the best things about these live streams, by far, for me, and I'm glad that some of you feel the same way. Happy birthday to everybody who's having a birthday. Have a great weekend, because I know you're all about to enjoy the weekend. And have a great time. Platinum Diva has to clean. Oh, that's the downside of having a pool. Platinum Diva has to clean her pool tomorrow. But congratulations to you too, Platinum Diva, for also unlocking that level. Congratulations. That's awesome. See, you're doing great, Platinum Diva. You're doing great. All right, everybody. See you soon. I'll see you on Sunday. My Quiet Place review is going to go up in just a second when I click publish. And then on Sunday, we will have Movie Math. We'll have the BTT Inside Access live stream, which is private for those members at 7 p.m. And then my House of the Dragon breakdown as soon as that episode wraps. But this is not a great episode, so a lot of work for nothing probably. Although there is that one moment, which I think will definitely have a lot of people talking. All right, everybody, bye! Oh, what did Mandito try and do? Let me go back. I'm going. Here I go. Robert, thank you for those memberships if I didn't thank you. Somebody tell me about Mandito. Fill me in on this. I feel bad. Oh, hey, Aid. Liam, help me out for Mandito. Oh, Mandito says not to worry about it. Mandito, I feel bad. He made a super chat. Well, just retype it. Because, they go away after a while. I can't find them anymore. I'll wait for you, Mandito. Mandito Jr. I'll give you a moment. Type it back in. You're getting special attention. That's the beauty of the live streams. Hey, Joey. Happy Pride, Isaac. Thanks, Jander. Type it in. I've got to go. I have to fill out an important form. Okay, so Mandito says MCU X-Men lineup. 2-5 mutants, and thank you. It's my pleasure, Mandito. MCU X-Men lineup. Top 5 mutants. That's a huge question. I think you got to have Cyclops. I want to see the X-Men who were done wrong by the movies. Storm, Rogue, Cyclops, for sure. And then you got to have Wolverine. So that's 4 right there. And I guess 5? Let's do Gambit. Or, Jubilee, somebody like that. But those are the 4 you got to have. Everybody loves Gambit. I liked Gambit to begin with, but he's certainly having a moment. Okay, everybody, bye. Bye. See you on Sunday.